step 2 on the two-parter on how to activate a vehicle into fleet. As you can see here, I've got fleet pulled up over here on the left hand side of the screen, and then I've got that new vehicle checklist that we just filled out over here on the right. And this is where it's going to hopefully make sense to you on why I created this, and I recommend getting this completely filled out before we move over into fleet and activate it. Just again, it just makes it a lot easier for one-stop shopping. Okay, so the first thing, as you can see here, we would go into data, we would go into equipment units and fleet equipment. We're already there. And then from there, this is the filter button, and we're going to filter on 2881. And again, we've already done that. Okay, next, we're going to start off with the basic info tab. We're in a conference room, and the resolution on the TV that we use as a monitor here is what's causing those tabs to only be partial. When you're at a computer, they do not look like that. So I'll try to call them out as much as I can, but hopefully you can see them. So again, we're in the basic info tab. We're going to go up here to this little, looks like a little lock. We're going to open that. And then we're going to start entering this information. So you can see here, model year, the make, the model of the vehicle. We've already put in the equipment. This is going to be a separate how-to video on that. We've got the color, we've got the VIN number, and then you can see here we have a folder that allows us to see the spec and all the pictures. Again, we showed that. So there's nothing here that we need to do on this particular screen. But what we do is we just get in the habit of going through every tab just to make sure everything is input. A lot of times the equipment type won't be input. It was just something I did when the vehicle got here, so it's already been done. Okay, meter info, that's the next one. Again, we have our arriving miles, and it had, looks like the last time it filled up, it had 328 miles on it, so it went 1 mile, and then we filled it up with gas for the department when they picked it up. Classes, we just want to take a look, make sure this is correct, and it's a utility wagon, it's an emergency four-wheel drive. Locations, nothing unusual there. Assignments, okay, we just want to make sure that we have the correct contact information down here, that we have the department ID, and that is correct. Accounts, we don't use that tab. Status, it's a new vehicle prep now, that's what the N stands for. We're going to change that to A for active, and then we'll show it as in service. And we also want to make sure that the fund is correct, and it is all correct. Over here in the motor pool tab, we're showing that this is not a motor pool vehicle, meaning it is not part of our pool cars. If it was, we would have a different code for that. Authorization, we just want to make sure that the fuel key, which you can see is 5133 right here, that is in fact loaded here in the fuel card ID. A lot of people make this mistake of putting it in the PIN. If you do that, it won't work. And then comments, and sometimes we put vehicle was released for service or activated on such and such day, but we have that in other tabs, so I'm not going to do it in this case. Okay, we'll go on to the next row here. Okay, so we're at life months 144. As you can see, 144 salvage value, and again that'll be over here, so we're just going to put that in there as 4,269. It will not take the change, so we can just round that up to 4,270. And you can see that salvage value is at 5%. Okay. Warranty, I'm going to come back and add that because I don't have all the info. I'll show you how to do it just as a we're going to put Bunnin is our local Chevrolet dealership, and the expiration date. We're going to use the month and day, so 04/19/2017 is the day it was activated, and we're going to go ahead and do 3 years. For 3 years, 36,000 miles. And bumper to bumper. And that's not right. It'll likely have like a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, but I just don't have that off the top of my head. I forgot to get it, so I'll come back to that. But for now, you see the point here. Okay, replacement. This is probably something that's going to be unique to us here at the City of Santa Barbara. I'm going to go through it for, because this is for our personnel. But first off, we're making sure that the one represents general fund versus enterprise fund. And then the replacement year, what we want to do is, since this has a 12-year life cycle, we want to add 12 years to this. Now, in this case, that would be 2029. However, what you have to pay attention to is we are going by fiscal year. Now, it just so happens that we're in fiscal year 17 and it's a 2017 model, so that's good. So 2029 would be correct. But if we were in FY18, like after July, that's when our fiscal year hits. If it were, say, July 1st, and this was a 2017 model that we had, then we would actually be putting 2030 down in that spot. So again, since it is fiscal year 17 still, 2029 is correct. Now cost, this is going to be the cost for replacement at the end of the life cycle. So as you can see, 336.48. Okay, planned retirement date. Again, that's going to be 12 years from today. Now that does not take into consideration the fiscal year. So if it's July 1st of 2017, instead of being 2030 for what it would be over here, it would still remain 2029, and it would be today's date. So 04, 19, and 29. Now you would put the actual retirement date here, and the disposition date, we use that as when it went to auction, when it was picked up for auction. Okay, notes, nothing here to add. Same with files. I think that's position info. I can't really read that. Nothing there. Additional data, this is all input at the time that the vehicle is purchased. It's something that we use so that we can track statuses of when the vehicle is supposed to be here, or what we estimate the cost to be, so on and so on. Okay, let's move up to Class PM. Okay, so here again at the City of Santa Barbara, this is going to pertain mostly to us. What we do is this would start off the cycle. So we're going to put a 1 here, and that just means it's going to be a PMA service. And we're going to set the mileage, and it's going to be at 5,000 miles. So what we like to do is 6 months or 5,000 miles, whichever happens first. Police cars, for instance, they hit the mileage before 6 months, so we usually see those twice in a 6-month period. Now, on this particular vehicle, since the mileage is already set at 5,000, what we're going to do here is we're going to change the date, the next PM due date. So again, we're looking at April, so we want to go May, June, July, August, September, October. So we know that 6 months from today would be October. So 10. And then the today's day is the 19th. We're not worried about if there's 31 days or 28 days of the month. It's just, we're just, roughly 6 months. So 10/19/2017, and it's going to be a PMA. Okay, and then what happens is we have another program that talks to fleet, and it says, hey, I'm going to take all of the PM dates that are coming due, and we start sending notices to our users automatically, or it also looks at mileage, sends it automatically if the mileage is coming up due, and allows them to schedule the services. Okay, I think that's individual PM, nothing there. I can't see what that is. I think it's inspections. So here Again, California, we have smog, so we're going to select smog. And ours, we make them do at the first 0101, the first of January every single time, and that way we get little flag notices that say, hey, vehicle due for smog. It just gives us multiple times throughout the year to get them smog, so we just have them all due on the 1st of January for that given year. And if you go over to the sheet, you're going to come up with smog year. And again, the first one is it's 6 years, and then it's 2 years from thereafter. So again, looking at the VIN being odd and 6 years out, it's an odd year just coincidentally. So that's going to be 23. So 1/1 of 2023. Going to tab over number of days 731 just to once we hit this date 1/1 of 2023, it'll go 731 days before it's due for the next 1 or 2 years. So, and then the time unit, that's going to be days. So we'll do the drop down so we can see that days. I think that is it for that one. Okay, codes. Okay, this particular vehicle. We should probably go into the pictures. This is a perfect example of why we take as many pictures as we do. This particular vehicle is not a diesel. However, it may be equipped for ethanol, and I don't remember that. So what we're going to have to do is go into the pictures and look for pictures of the gas cap, and I should have one in there. This is exactly why we take all these pictures. Okay. E85 gasoline. Okay, so it is E85 compatible. Let's see. Just want to make sure we're okay. So what we'll do with fleet is, where were we? We were, bear with me here. Codes. Okay. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. You can see we have gas right there. So the next one, fluid type, we're going to put ETH for ethanol. There it is. And then capacity will match that to whatever the gasoline has, so 45 gallons. Okay. So that's what is done there. Normally you wouldn't have to, like when you put diesel down, I think we're using renewable diesel, so I think it's RND is the code there, and that's all you would have there. But in this, and a vehicle that does not take ethanol, you would just have gas. Okay, so that's codes. Recurring costs. Okay, so what we want is the fixed replacement cost here, and again, that's the monthly rate, and that monthly rate is so it's $1,035.19 per month, and that's based on a 12-year life cycle. So it's the cost of the vehicle, the 153,336. 98. That's the 5-year inflation per year over the 12-year period, and this is the breakdown per month. Okay, so we are at 1035.19, so we'll put that here. 1035.19. Okay, that's under fixed replacement cost. Okay, credit cards, nothing there. Acquisition. Okay, so what we are showing here is this is the planned delivery date, and this is when it actually got here. So you can see it got here on March 9th of 2017. We usually project our in-service date to be 1 month, so you can see it was 4/9/17, and we had some delays on this with our radio shop. 2017, and it's not their fault. We just didn't have the right parts. Okay, so here we've got some cost information. So the original cost is going to be the cost of the vehicle. So we're going to start off with 85,276.49. And then the base MRP cost, which it is asking for, is going to be this amount right here, which is your capitalized value. And or excuse me, disregard that. The capitalized value is what you're going to find over here is the 107. So let's put that in there real quick. And again, that's just whatever cost we have into it once it got here. Could be putting on the plates and the vehicle numbers and mounting the fire extinguisher, stuff like that. Okay, base MRP cost is the original cost plus the capitalized value. So that is our total. So 85,383.49. Okay. We don't put in a date capitalized without any cost. However, this is where some of this other information like the RO come in handy. Okay, so vendor ID over here, we're going to account for this $107 right here. So we're going to put shop labor down. And the purchase order number, we just use the repair order number. So 01-2017, and let's see, dash, where is it here? 70116. Okay, what else we got here? Order date, so what we use there is the date the RO was created. So 3/13 of 17, so 03/13/17, and then the cost is going to be $107. Description, you don't need to put the description down. Okay, so that should be acquisition. Let's go into registration. And it looks like, okay, so it looks like the registration was complete. We'll be able to cross this block off here. Check that, just showing the plate number and the information when we received it. Okay. And I can't read what that one is. Ownership depreciation, we've already done it. Okay, so it looks like that is it. Let me just, yeah, oh, I gotta put the other warranty in. So in fact, I'll go ahead and do it now. I will correct it if it's not correct. I'm going to go check it right now, but it should be 60,000, and that'll be powertrain. So again, we're going to select the dealership button. 04/19, and again, it should be 5 years. So we'll put 22 down there. 60. And then powertrain. Okay, and that'll be it. So, okay, so with all that done, we should be able to process it. That's done right here. And what we're looking for is a successful update there. Okay, so now that vehicle is updated. So just real quick, just to recap, this is a two-part video, and we started off with the first part was how to fill out this sheet here, where to get it from, how to fill it out. Part two, which is what we're doing now, hopefully that really kind of reinforced why we want to fill out this sheet and have it. It just, again, it's kind of one-stop shopping. Once you have it all available, you don't have to go in to see everything.